right, welcome to Shin and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all sports. Oh, we've got a lot on the line today. First off, my name is Jess, and you can find me on X at shimpad_IESR. All right, let's get right into it. Lots to talk about today. Lots, including stuff out of the Saudi Pro League. All right. But first off, we have got a little bit about the World Cup going on. Starting off with the Baylor School. Now, this one seems a little bit out of left field. Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee, will be hosting the Spain national team during the World Cup. And honestly, this is not just exciting. This is inspirational. And it's a reminder that football is global, but it's also local, you know? I mean, kids in Tennessee are about to watch World Cup winners train up close, and that matters. It's so crazy bringing some football right to Tennessee, man, because I grew up there. Back in Tennessee, it was, yeah. It's pretty much all American football over there with a little bit of basketball and a tiny bit of hockey. So it's going to be really exciting for that. Next thing, I think it has been announced that Spain is set to host the 2030 World Cup final, which honestly feels right, you know? Football royalty hosting football royalty. It just seems right, you know? It seems like such an appropriate place to have the World Cup final for that World Cup. So, all right, moving on into the USL. Charlotte Independence is signing Mexican youth international Vigo Ortiz from Charleston. This is exactly what USL is becoming, a serious development and movement league. And honestly, I'm all here for it. I am all here for it. You know, it is definitely rivaling the MLS right now. And speaking of the MLS, moves going on in the MLS right now. Oh, man. Deadline day is finally done in the European leagues. But I've still got more to share with you about that later. MLS is still making some moves. This theme just seems unavoidable right now. MLS to Europe. Orlando's Alex Freeman is headed to Villarreal in Spain on a club record fee. Crazy. Obed Vargas is headed to Atletico Madrid. Jason Russell Rowe is headed to Toulouse in France, League One, I believe. Martin Pass is headed to Ajax. I mean, this is the league working. Develop, sell, reinvest. To me, it just seems really crazy to see players in the MLS going over to Europe, because it kind of makes me think these players are actually getting noticed here in the US, and that's honestly really huge for US and soccer, man. That's huge. That is huge. And honestly, I'm really happy for these players. It shows anything can happen, you know? Anything can happen. Moving on to big money and big names. Houston Dynamo have spent $6 million plus $4 million on Mateusz Bogus. Craziness. It's a $6 million fee plus $4 million in add-ons. Yeah. RSL have signed designated player Morgan Gulavogi. Inter Miami are bringing in Jermaine Bertarame. Portland have signed Cole Bassett. MLS, it's not just exporting anymore. They are choosing where to spend their money, and honestly, when it comes to working on getting the MLS to compete on the global stage, you got to look at these things, because what you spend is what you get. And that works not only in life, but that works especially in football. There's a reason these players over in Europe are getting paid buku's money. There's a reason for that. Because they can play. More on that later. Roster shuffle going on. San Jose are loaning Cristiano Arango out. Where did I have that? In my notes. Jay, when that happens. NYCFC are loaning Julian Fernandez. Vancouver are juggling signings and loanings right now, and the New York Red Bulls are active on both sides of the market. This is roster turn season. Blink and you miss 3 deals. Craziness. Craziness going on. The New York Red Bulls have signed goalkeeper Sylvan Hefty from Hamburger V. They have also transferred Noah Ellie to Bristol City and signed defender George Rucalcaba from Pumas. Charlotte FC have signed defender Henry Kessler. Columbus Crew have transferred, like I said earlier before, to the League One team, Toulouse FC. FC Dallas transfer to pass to Ajax and acquired goalkeeper Jonathan Siros from CF Montreal. Seattle Sounders have transferred Vargas to Atletico Madrid, like I said before. At United signed defender Elis Baez from San Lorenzo. And San Jose, this is where I lost my place earlier, have loaned forward Christian Arango to Atletico Nacional. So lots going on. Still. And I'll probably get more next week for you guys. All right, let's see what the NWSL is doing. What the Women's League and the moves going on over there. First of all, big picture for the NWSL, and this is crazy and cool at the same time. Kansas City Current have become the first NWSL team to establish a youth academy in Brazil, which is massive. And honestly, I never expected, I mean, of course you expect great things from Kansas City Current, especially after the killer performance they had last season. They dominated last season. I'm really kind of hoping that they dominate again this season. Really look to it. Of course, I'm also going to be rooting for the Denver Summit. But this one just kind of seemed a real surprise to me. I was like, what? When I saw this come across my feed. Crazy. And as far as moves go, Denver Summit have signed Natasha Flint. If you didn't see, she is actually from the UK. So MLS is really starting to try to step up. They've also signed Eva Gattino. Bay FC are locking in Kiera Berry through 2029 as well. We are not just seeing participation in football for the Women's League. We are seeing ambition. So be on the lookout, guys. This coming season is going to be absolutely a roller coaster and a thrill to watch. Not just for the men's side, but for the women's side. We've got 2 new teams, 2 expansion clubs that are going to be starting up. That is exciting. And moving up north to the NSL. I don't know why. Right now, my feed is really only showing me transfers going on with regards to the Halifax Tides. I don't really know why, but yeah. But get more for you guys later about other teams. Halifax Tides are signing goalkeeper Samantha St. Croix, and if I remember correctly, she played for AFC Toronto last season. So steady, intentional growth, and they are really building their team, and it could be a very successful season for the Tides. All right, guys, we are going to be taking a short little break here. You have been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you after the break.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
All right, welcome back to Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, guys, let's go across the pond and go and see what is going on in the Premier League. We have got money, milestones, and mayhem going on in this segment. It's crazy. Okay. So let's look at transfers here. You know, Fulham have signed Oscar Bob, who some of you know from Man City. Kind of sucks, you know, to see him go on a £27 million fee with a sell-on clause. And City will maintain a 20% for that sell-on clause. So they decide to sell him and his worth goes up, it's going to be a pretty good payday for City. Nottingham Forest have signed goalkeeper Stefan Ortega, also from Man City, on a short-term deal. I don't think Ortega's gotten very much time on the pitch this season. Probably a good move, but we'll see if it ends up becoming a permanent transfer. Don't know, but we'll see. Sheffield United have acquired Calvin Phillips from City on loan, and he is expected to be back with City in June. So this is for sure a short term. He will be back, kind of a deal. Crystal Palace, Jean-Philippe Mateta. A lot of people say, you know, have been thinking he's going to be moving to AC Milan. Well, sorry to burst your bubble. It's flagged because he has been experiencing knee issues. So that's been kind of a hold on. We're wanting to get this player, but he's injured. He has a knee injury right now. Yeah. He might be staying with Crystal Palace just a wee bit longer. Arsenal fans, Mikel Moreno is expected to be out for several months because he broke a bone in his foot. So, sorry guys. Sunderland have agreed to sign winger Nielsen and Guello from Anderlecht. Hope that helps you guys get better, even better this season. But doing pretty well, honestly. Doing pretty well this season. Yeah. So looking into what money these clubs have spent this season, and if you think City have spent the most amount of money this season on their players, no, they're 7th on the list of that. Liverpool have spent 500 million euros on transfers over the last 12 months. Florian Wirtz, they got like 136.3 million euros. Alexander Isak cost 150 million euros. Hugo Ekitike was 95 million euros. Milos Kerkez was 46.9 million euros. Jeremy Frimpong was 40 million euros. Georgie was 34.3 million euros, and Jeremy Jaquette was 7 million euros. In total, they have spent 572.6 million euros. That's a good chunk of change. And looking at other clubs that have spent buku's money, Crystal Palace, granted this is not as much as City have spent, but they have spent 103 million pounds on their front three in January. Jordan Strand Larson cost 48 million. Dwight McNeil cost 20 million, and Brennan Johnson cost 35 million. I hope that's worth it for you guys, because that would be a major disappointment, an absolutely major disappointment. Wolves have agreed to sign Angel Gomes from Olympique Marseille for 1 million euros with an option to buy, and buy option clause around 7 million euros. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if that helps, Everton have signed Tyreek George from Chelsea. That's another thing. Go on with that. And speaking of City, from earlier in our conversation, Erling Haaland has become the youngest player to reach 60 goals in European competitions, specifically the UEFA Champions League. And he achieved this at 25 years and 6 months. He reached it in just 56 Champions League games. So that kid is going so far. Burglaries. Here is one, and then pretty much right after I got the show ready, I saw another one. Someone broke into the home of Maya Jama and Ruben Diaz while they were away. Maya was with Love Island, I believe, and Ruben Diaz was away with City. Their home is an area that is popular with footballers, and similar incidents have occurred at the homes of Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, and Riyad Mahrez when they were also away. In my opinion, maybe they need to consider moving to a different neighborhood, because sadly this is becoming a part of a growing trend with footballers. And either move or get better security. Either one, because security and safety should be non-negotiable at this point. Yeah. Fun thing for the FA Cup, they are getting their own anthem music. It is said to be similar to the Champions League anthem. It's part of their sonic branding for the competition. The goal is to give it a more modern feel while still building on the heritage of this tournament. So, don't mess it up. I think, who did I see was doing it? Should have written it down. They've asked some music group, and Don't mess it up, dudes. Don't mess it up. Because somebody gonna have you hide. Little fun thing. Fun little look back. Changing topics again. West Bromwich Albion. They've had some. I feel like this was intentional. I really do. I really, really do. Yep. From 1975 to 1988. Yeah. This had to have been intentional because let's look at their first names. Last names, meh, but first names, funny. We've got Johnny, Ronnie, John, Ron, Ronnie, Ron, Johnny, Nobby, Ron, and Ron. How, like, that had to be intentional, dude. I saw that this week and I was like, that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. I mean, seriously, you've got so many, like, was it like 2 Johnnies, a John, 4 Rons, a Ronnie, and Bobby. These are their managers from 1975 to 1988, and I'm like, honestly, I respect the commitment if this was intentional. If not, it's still absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. All right, moving on to the women's side of things for the Premier League women's. Bristol City Women's new sponsor, Guinness. So, and of course the front, I mean, it's not going to be like, it's going to be the 0.0 Guinness, like the non-alcoholic Guinness, because they probably can't advertise the actual, like, with the alcoholic percentage, because then it's like encouraging drinking. But honestly, congrats, it's their new shirt sponsor. So this one is another one. I'm not surprised, honestly. When I see people sacking their coaches, I'm not surprised anymore. I'm really not. Everton women have sacked Brian Sorensen. And honestly, if you're like, why are there so many sackings? Head over to IE Sports Radio's website and go look on the blog, because I just wrote a piece about this very topic. And honestly, I spent like 3.5 weeks on it, because I'm like, this is becoming a trend. But just go read it. I think it's a good piece. And I hope you do too. So over to esportsradio.com and check it out, because it's been a thing. Yeah. All right, moving on to a little bit for La Liga that I saw this week, and more La Liga women's. Looking at Alexia Putellas specifically. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she plays for FC Barcelona. She is a midfielder for FC Barcelona. She's getting her own signature boot thanks to Nike. It will have her lucky number 11 and a custom Nike logo for her on the heel. And according to Just Women's Sports, It's going to be constructed from a pair of interlocking 11s that combine with the letter A. Putella's new logo forms a crown, referencing her nickname of La Reina. Maybe I mispronounced that, which is Spanish for the queen. So, congrats to her on getting signature boots. And this is honestly just great publicity and great way to get out there for the women's side of it, because a lot of attention and a lot of media and a lot of sponsorships and all that is geared towards men rather than women. And I've got an article about women coming out later this month, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be related to ACL injuries and specifically. Be on the lookout for that. You will be able to find it on iesportsradio.com. Your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, let's get into a topic that has been... I don't even know what to say about this topic. I really... but it involves the Saudi Pro League. And if any of you follow soccer over in that region in any capacity, or soccer in general, you probably already know what I'm talking about. Cristiano Ronaldo. Throwing his little tantrum. Okay, so if you're not sure what's going on, this is a power struggle going on. Let me kind of set you up. This is a power struggle, and it's honestly, yeah, okay. What started this whole thing is he tried to block the transfers of Benzema, Conte, and En-Nesyri. Supposedly, if Karim Benzema signed with Al Hilal, not even the team he currently plays for, which you don't know, is Al Nassr. If the transfer went through, which it did, supposedly it would have a domino effect with Conte moving to Fenerbahce and Youssef En-Nesyri to Al Ittihad. Ittihad? I really hope I pronounced that right. None of these players were coming into the club that he is a part of. None of them whatsoever. None of them. And if you've been looking and following Karim Benzema, the sitch with him, which by the way he's now going to be playing with Al Hilal. The prior club, the club that he was with, proposed that he play basically for free without a salary, and his income solely be based off of his image rights. You can't just tell a player, go from paying them book money, being like, oh no, you're gonna basically have to be playing for free. We're not gonna give you a salary. All of your income and all of what we're paying is coming from your image rights. That's not gonna fly whatsoever. And supposedly Cristiano was trying to block these transfers. Well, clearly that didn't happen, and he was so opposed to this because it would have disturbed the balance and fair competition of the league. And he protested this by sitting out not only Al Nassr's match against Al Riyadh on deadline day, but the next game as well. And the Saudi Pro League representative made a statement that I completely agree with. Completely. That I'm. Let me just get that statement up for you. I mean, I can't put it up because, don't want to get in trouble. So, the Saudi Pro League spokesperson commented on Cristiano Ronaldo's behavior. He said, "No individual, however significant, determines decisions beyond their own club." He is trying to determine the decisions beyond his own club, and by throwing a temper tantrum. And when I initially heard about this, and he was like, "I'm not happy with how," like basically saying how he wasn't happy with how all of it, all the transfers and yada 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 is being handled. Dude, you're a player. Be concerned with your own club. You're throwing a temper tantrum. And now there's even talk of him potentially leaving at the club at the, not at the end of the contract, but later this year. And I'm just like, dude, you're acting like a child, and he literally turned 41 today. He turned 41 today, throwing a temper tantrum like he's 4. "I'm going to take my little red wagon and go home." That's his attitude. Bro, come on. Like, I understand that there is frustration and that there's so much like yeah, sitting out matches, protesting transfers. It looks less like leadership and more like insecurity. When a league's balance depends on one player's approval, that's a problem. But that's not a problem because the league spokesperson made a statement saying that no one player can make decisions outside of his own club. Not one. Not Ronaldo, not Messi, no one. You want to have that kind of power? Get into that position properly, because you cannot do that as a player. You cannot have that type of power as a player, because if you do, that becomes a problem. And it is very frustrating to see players like Ronaldo just being given whatever the heck they want. Given he has not been told no, apparently, because he's throwing a temper tantrum because he's being told no. I mean, I get having influence, and I can, to a certain extent, understand a player having influence within his own club, to an extent, because players do not always know what is best for the club, let alone what is best for the league. And that really frustrates me. The reason I have been so frustrated and irritated by players like Ronaldo and Messi is because of how significant they are, they're basically given carte blanche. In my personal opinion, the reason Messi got the Golden Boot was because he was allowed to come back and take a break from his international duty to play a regular season match where he scored 2 goals. And these players are given special treatment, which to an extent, I understand. To an extent. But when you're trying to, and there's also rumors about Messi trying to make it to where some sort of contract he's doing right now, and I don't know if this is actually true or if this is mainly just hearsay right now. Doesn't play away games. Like, dude, if you can't play away games, you shouldn't be playing still. Because you should be able to show up for your team. And it's just, it honestly, because they are basically given carte blanche and can do whatever the heck they want to because of who they are, that's where I have the issue. Because to me, that is not okay. Because it is not fair to the other players. And honestly, it may not even be best for the club that they're currently playing for. So for him to protest by sitting out a few games, dude, just retire already. Like, I get you want to reach 1,000 career goals, ambitious, stay in your lane, dude. Because that is a very, very frustrating situation because he's trying to basically get his way by going on strike. Dude, you make buku's money. You could not work the rest of your life if you retired today. It is just it's so frustrating. Oh my gosh. Yep, that's all I'll say about it. Because it's just ridiculous. It is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Anyway, guys, we're going to take another short little break, and then we're going to get into the standings, along with another little surprise at the end. You've been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you after the break.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back to IE Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, let's get into our last segment, which is the standings. We're looking at the Premier League, the Bundesliga, and Serie A right now. Not a whole lot is going on right now. Over in the Premier League, we've got Arsenal sitting comfortably at the top with 53 points. Their next match is going to be against Sunderland. Man City is in the number 2 spot with 47 points, and they take on last year's dominant force, Liverpool, next. Aston Villa is sitting at number 3 with 46 points. They are set to play Bournemouth, who are in about the middle of the table right now. Man United is sitting at the number 4 spot. They are going to be playing Tottenham Hotspur. And right now, Man United are on a 3-game win streak. 2 more games, and the United Strand can get himself a haircut. after 465 days without a haircut. He hadn't gotten a haircut since 2024. Chelsea are sitting at number 5 with 40 points. They are set to play the bottom of the table, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool is sitting at number 6 with 39 points, followed by Brentford in 7th place with 36 points. They are set to play Newcastle. Sunderland is at number 8 with 36 points, followed by Fulham at number 9 with 34 points. They are set to play the number 10 spot, Everton, who also have 34 points. Newcastle United is sitting at number 11, followed by Bournemouth at number 12. Then Brighton and Hove Albion at number 13. They are set to play Crystal Palace next. Brighton have 31 points right now. Tottenham Hotspur at number 14 have 29 points, followed by Crystal Palace at number 15 with 29 points. Then Leeds United at number 16 with 26 points, who are set to play Nottingham Forest, who is in 17th place. Both have 26 points. West Ham United at number 18 with 20 points. They are set to play number 19 Burnley at 15 points. And then all the way down at the bottom still, the Wolverhampton Wanderers. West Ham, Burnley, and the Wolves are sitting in the relegation zone. Gotta do it, guys, because end of the season is coming up fast. Super fast. Moving over into the Bundesliga, we are seeing Bayern Munich at number 1 with 51 points, followed by Borussia Dortmund at number 2 with 45 points. And if you guys were thinking, as far as Bayern goes, if you guys were thinking that potentially I might consider Vincent Kompany to come coach Man City, that's kind of just hearsay right now. We still don't know who could replace Pep or what's going to go on in that situation. I think Pep is a little bit tired of having questions answered about that. Hoffenheim is sitting at number 3 with 42 points, followed by Stuttgart at number 4 with 39 points. RB Leipzig at number 5 with 36 points, followed by Leverkusen at number 6 with 35 points. Freiburg is at number 7 with 27 points, and Frankfurt is just right tailing on there behind them with still 27 points. We've got Berlin at number 9 with 24 points, followed by Cologne at number 10 with 23 points, followed by Augsburg at number 11 with 22 points. I'm sure they are feeling uber better about their whole season. They're middle of the table, dudes. They're up 2 spots. Borussia Mönchengladbach is at number 12 with 21 points, followed by Hamburg at number 13 with 19 points. Then Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen all having 19 points. Mainz at number 16 with 18 points, followed by St. Pauli with 14 points and Heidenheim at number 18 with 13 points. St. Pauli and Heidenheim, they are facing relegation right now. We'll see what happens. Moving on over into Serie A. The top 5 haven't changed. Inter Milan at number 1 with 55 points. Then AC Milan at number 2 with 50 points. Napoli at number 3 with 46 points. Now when I see Napoli, I am always going to be thinking of Kevin De Bruyne. Honestly, smart move going over to Serie A. Especially if that's where you plan to retire. That would be a pretty good place to retire. Juventus at number 4 with 45 points. Roma at number 5 with 43 points. And all the way down at the bottom, we have Verona with 14 points. All right, guys. That is it for the standings. And that last little bit, you can join the conversation. We can talk over on X, but we could also talk on band. Pretty soon, I'm going to be adding into an invite for the band, so we can have that conversation. Who knows? Maybe you can come onto the show, become a guest, or even a co-host if you wanted to, and we can just have a nice, great conversation about this beautiful, beautiful game that we call soccer here in the States. But the rest of the world calls football. All right, guys. I will keep you up to date on when I'm going to be posting that link. And until next time, keep those shin pads sharp and your shenanigans sound. You've been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you guys next time.